Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Retro Bliss. You're on the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. We're going to have a fun time tonight. We're going to do another top 5 episode, but this time we're doing it our top 5 NES games. Now I'll tell you, I have no nostalgia for the NES. I was basically an adult when the NES came out, and we never had one. I had a Super NES for the kids, so I have some nostalgia for that. But since I've gotten into retro gaming, though, there's some great titles, and it's going to be a fun show tonight to talk about. So without further delay, let's get to the panel. Mike, and he always laughs when I say get no delay. He's like, you could have done that 5 minutes ago. Okay.
No.
Hey, I did it opposite. Okay.
Oh, well, surprise.
Surprise, Dr. Scott's here.
Hi.
Sorry, Brian, I screwed up.
Yeah, Brian has his corner. He's got to stay in his
corner.
corner.
Yeah, he has to stay in his corner. I had my favorite corner in the house, too, when I was growing up. So
that's right. Yeah. Now, I will say, there are, depending on whose chat you're watching on, and really, you should bounce back between both. Give us both the love. But on Phil's channel, you've got a poll. Why don't you tell us what your poll is on your channel, and I'll tell you what the one on mine is.
It's a very simple poll. You guys know my choices. I want to know if you think you're going to agree with my choices before I reveal them.
Okay,
so
and
that's
on
basically what I want to know.
And on my channel, I have the usual. Who do you think is going to have the best list? Is it me? Is it Phil? Is it Brian? Or is it Dr. Scott? And we brought Dr. Scott on because he is legendary now for his hot takes. I am expecting, this is a top 5 NES. So, Scott, I'm expecting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Action 52, maybe Back to the Future 2 and 3.
Cheetah Man, I do not have that. I just...
Sorry. This is our favorite, not our most hated.
I'll be completely honest. I liked Back to the Future, not Back to the Future. Sorry, I liked Action 52. We had it as kids, and it was like we knew they were bad games, which you'd go through and just you always had something to play because I like 48 of those 52 games worked.
We have done a NES console podcast where we talked about it. This is not one where we go through the history or anything like that, but it does have a.
We actually haven't done the NES. We did the Famicom.
I thought we did the NES.
No, we didn't do the NES.
Well, we're not going to do the history then, but it's we need to because this is a great console. It really is. Had a lot of support back in the day, and I think we should just go ahead and get started and let Mike tell us what his number 5 is.
Before I do that, Casey commented, I love NES and I'm looking forward to this one. Maybe Dr. Scott can redeem himself after the adventure fiasco.
I remember that.
I'm looking forward to him doubling down, baby. I want it. It makes for a better show.
Really controversy is good for.
I promise you, Back to the Future is absolutely not on my list.
It's not a top 5, but I do like the first Back to the Future game. Okay, so my number 5, I specifically for my list, I tried to pick something from a different genre. Like all my games are from different genres. And I also tried to pick maybe not the most stereotypical ones, although at least one of them is. So to represent RPGs, there are some great RPGs on the NES, and they tend to fall into like 2 camps. Are you a Dragon Warrior guy or are you a Final Fantasy guy? For me and my nostalgia, like I played both. I love both. But for me, it has to be Final Fantasy on the NES, the original Final Fantasy. Now, fun story for those who don't know, I imagine most people do, but the reason this game is called Final Fantasy is because Square was going out of business. And this was like their last shot. And it became a massive, massive success. And that's why now you have like Final Fantasy 15. Like there's nothing final about this game. But my brothers and I played. I remember we had this, and it didn't get a lot of play until a friend of mine came over, and he had a guidebook, and it would guide you through the entire game. But his guidebook was torn. It was like the first half of it, and the cover was ripped. But still, we got far enough in the game that, and he forgot it at my house, and then I think he ended up moving, and so that was our guidebook now. And so we played, and we eventually did beat it. I don't have time for RPGs now, unfortunately. They take a long time, and I did invest a lot of time into this, as well as the 2 Super Nintendo Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy VII was kind of the last big one I played, but this was the one that kind of started it all for me, and I absolutely love this game. It is an excellent RPG. It is difficult. It obviously it's the start of things, so you have to buy tents. You have to buy, like, in order to save outside of an inn, you've got to bring tents with you. You can't just save. But yeah, it's if you're looking to kind of get back to where things began, this is a great one for that. Final Fantasy, the original, and it's got a great soundtrack for the NES too.
So I've not played this game. Is there the exploration part of it? Are there like hidden things that like there are in other RPGs?
It's a whole world to explore. There are hidden things, but not hidden as in like Legend of Zelda kind of hidden.
Yeah, that's
like
why
you're not
I knew
running
there were a
up
lot
to
in
random
there.
bushes and trying to set them on fire.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, good
choice. And it is interesting that you picked that one, and because the thing is, I do like the series overall, but
yeah,
at least when growing up and playing that for the first time, I did not care for it, and I think, and it was just like you said, this. I will say, if you play any of the remastered ones where they've done the quality of life improvements, it's definitely a much better experience. But
actually, can we take? So what we used to do is because I have 4 younger brothers. Sorry, 5 younger brothers, and we used to give ourselves the names. And this was Christmas, I want to say like 10 years ago. My brother made me something. It's right outside the store. I'm going to quickly grab it and show you guys because it's really cool.
Oh, so, thank God he's gone.
Well,
but no, I mean, whenever, and again, it was just, I think my frustration with it was because, that is cool.
That is fantastic. That is really special. That is so cool.
Yeah, he did like the dots thing, and that's one of the coolest gifts I've ever gotten. And it's what we used to play with the characters. My character was always the black mage. No, it didn't matter who was playing, and we would take turns playing. So he made me that for Christmas like 10 years ago, and it was awesome. And yeah, it's got a lot of nostalgia for me.
Oh, I mean, like I said, it's not like terrible, but I think my biggest issue with that one was just the fact of if something died, if you had your other characters targeting it, then those attacks were wasted. They didn't just automatically roll off to the next.
Yeah, so you got to strategize, man.
Yeah,
just get good.
I didn't have to worry about that with Dragon Warrior.
Like I said, there's 2 camps, and honestly, I don't blame anyone for wanting to be in one rather than the other. I love Dragon Warrior too. I felt like I had to pick one. I said, I want to pick different genres, and for me, the RPG category is Final Fantasy.
All right, Brian, number 5 for you, sir.
Yeah, so whenever I did my list here, I kind of did a couple things because it's so hard to just say top 5 NES because there was just so much content for the console. And
this is one of the hardest ones I've had to do.
Yeah, so I kind of made it a point to not do any of the first party games because obviously most of those were good. I mean. And but
really, your favorite's your favorite though. So, but I understand.
Yeah.
It.
So I mean, I did try to, I did decide not to do that, but So going through mine, my number 5, and again, a lot of this too is just again what we grew up on. Like Mike, he has a lot of memories with Final Fantasy, which makes perfect sense why that's a big one for him. And my number 5 is Pac-Mania, and the reason for it was just like at the time, back when far more that chain of stores existed. Like they had these in like that little bargain rack that they had that you can get. And for me, what had me excited about it was just the fact that at the time I never knew there was an arcade version. Like I didn't know this was based off an arcade game, and I just thought, oh wow, a 3D type Pac-Man game where you can jump over the ghosts. Like that was just, at the time when I first played it, was huge. And like I said, it was one of those budget like $15-$20 games at the time that picked up at Far More, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, the graphics for the NES were really well done. The soundtrack was really good. The levels were colorful, and it was one of those games you could just easily pick up and play just kind of over and over and just try to get a higher score with it and have fun. And it's a take on Pac-Man that I really like, because some of them they didn't do as well on. Like, in my opinion, I'm not a fan of Pac-Land, but like this spinoff was really good, and it's actually a shame that they didn't really do anything more with it beyond just this first iteration. I mean, I know they released it on like Master System and Sega Genesis and things like that, but there was never a true like Pac-Mania 2 or any sequel off this style. So
yeah, Pac-Mania is cool. It's definitely something different. I just want to take a really quick second. So I am the oldest brother, and therefore by the time we were done playing NES and stuff, like the ones that are on this board that my brother Matthew made were the ones that were old enough to play. So the younger ones, they didn't play it with us, so they were left off. And Andy says eventually ghosts can jump too, so you can try to jump them. They just jump right into you.
Right, because you have to get used to start the jump toward them and hurry up and move back. As you can actually change your direction midair, which was a fun mechanic with it too.
And Jeremiah is always here for a good comment. I always feel bad when whoever's the fourth guy he thought you were setting up a nice takedown, but he just approves of your pick that he's like, no, you're just trying to rationalize how bad your pick was.
It's not that it was a bad pick. I was just saying because like you said, there's two camps. There's Final Fantasy and there's Dragon Warrior. And again, like I said, going back and playing it, it's fun. But like when I initially picked it up for the first time, it was just not. I mean, obviously, Final Fantasy 2, which is technically 4, was a night and day difference.
Yes,
that's a whole nother
once you get to Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, goodness, yeah.
I will say it's no Pac-Man 2600, but
well, what is
right?
I know y'all. I'm trying to ignore you and respond to Mr. B in the chat. Okay, nice pick there, Brian. So, Dr. Scott, number 5 for you, sir.
So, just like Phil, I was already an adult. If you want to, well, no, I wasn't an adult yet. That's right. I'm younger than Phil, barely, but still, I was. I at that time when the original Nintendo came out, I had a Commodore 64, and I was in junior high, and I had discovered that thing that Dr. Emmett Brown was so fascinated with, women. So I didn't I really didn't I didn't have an NES, but my best friend.
It's funny. I will say it's funny. You can always tell when a guy reached sexual maturity by the gap in his knowledge of video games.
Yeah.
Mine is the mid to late 90s. So obviously yours is the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, and mine extends from there up to about where when I discovered the Genesis existed, and I was like, wait a minute, what have I been missing? So that's when I got a Genesis. But my best friend who lived 2 doors down, he had a Nintendo, so I would go over to his house to play. And I actually bought a couple of games. I didn't get a console, but I bought a couple of games. We'd play them over there. And my number 5 happens to be I wouldn't call it a controversial title, but I think it's a love it or hate it kind of a game. There's nobody that's just like, yeah, that's pretty good. Almost everybody's like, oh yeah, I love it, or gosh, I can't stand that game. And that's Solar Jetman. I love the inertial physics in it. I don't know, and the fact that once your ship is destroyed, you're just kind of vulnerable outside, and you've got that last chance, and you can go back, to where you started off and grab another ship, or you can just kind of look for the stuff you're looking for and chance it and die. I think it's such a fun game in that way, because I think before this you really didn't have a lot of games that gave you that. Okay, I can get shot, my ship can get destroyed, but I still exist and I can still keep going, kind of a thing. And the really fun thing is I actually have a very beautiful, fully CIB copy in the other room, which I was not going to dig out. That one never comes out to play, but this one I found it. I don't know. I think it was at Korg's or Torg or one of those, and I just grabbed it this past year so I could have one that I can always just pop in and play. But that's my number 5.
I've never seen this game. I'm
surprisingly decent pick. I like Solar Jetman. It doesn't make my top list, but it is a fun game. I'll give you that. And it does have that very arcadey feel to it.
Whenever there's physics involved that I can't control exactly, those games I don't know why I just.
Well, that's the thing.
Case, then all your top 5, Phil, are LJN games.
Yeah, they are. How'd you know?
But that's exactly the point. Is a lot of people who hate this game, very much like Gravatar, but not as hard.
Which is good, because Gravatar is hard as nails.
Yeah.
It's
tough.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about this game is it does remove that sense of control simply because of the inertia, and that's, I think, one of the things, because you kind of have to think ahead a little bit. And that's one of the things I really, really liked about it. And it wasn't like it was bad controls or something like that. It was, you just don't have the kind of control you would. So that.
Okay, I've been told that my mic sounds horrible.
Yeah, we're aware of that. Phil's been changing stuff around with his computer and all that. So
I'm having some issues.
We can at least hear him. Just pretend he's an old-timey radio guy.
After I give my pick, I may step off for a minute. Maybe a reboot will fix it. I don't know.
My worry is that you don't make it back.
Okay, is it that bad though?
No, it's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad. You like I said, you were just a little tinny.
Okay, all right. Well, this game, I love this game, and I actually had this in the Retro Bliss Ninja contest once, and Mike killed it when he played.
I had something like 900,000 points.
Well, I don't know if it was that, but it was pretty high.
Yeah, I did. When I streamed it, I got 350,000.
It's Gyrus. Now this game, fun fact, it was, the sales for this were not publicly disclosed, but it was released in 1988, and in many ways the graphics and the gameplay I actually like better than the arcade version.
This is my favorite version for sure.
Yeah, and I always tell my Poe joke every time I play or mention this on my channel, because Poe's favorite level is Uranus.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that was my number. It's a shooter. It's a fun shooter, and like I said, it's just the aspects of it. I prefer this actually over the arcade version. So,
and the other thing, the gameplay mode B controls so much better. I don't know why the default to Gyrus is. I know why it is, because of the joystick and all that. But man, this is yeah, like I said, it's like the best version of Gyruss. When I saw that this was on Phil's list, I was like, oh damn, I completely forgot about this one, which is a shame because I love this game. It is absolutely I think it's probably one of those games that a lot of people would not even think to put on their list.
And I didn't either because and I don't actually own this cartridge physically, which is why
and it's not an NES exclusive. People don't think of necessarily even the arcade games when it comes to the NES, but damn, it definitely is a top tier NES game. It is great.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I agree with you guys. I find this one to be the best version, and again, this is another one of those games that I was really surprised we never kind of got a sequel to. Like, I don't know. I figured we'd have saw something more with this series.
When I bought this game, I only have one copy. I got it at a flea market, and of course, whenever you go to a flea market and talk to these people, oh yeah, I've tested it. I know it works. Yeah, okay, right. But it looked in really good shape. I got it home. It didn't work. And I was so upset. And I don't know what I did. I took isopropyl alcohol and some sandpaper, I think, to try to get them contact.
Oh, don't do sandpaper.
No, I was kidding on that. But you were aggressive. I was cleaning it very vigorously. And
get out the Brasso.
Yeah, I got it working. Yeah. So anyway, I was very happy about that. All right, Mike,
And so speaking of Uranus, we're now going to be calling Mr. Postile Wrinkled Star.
Chocolate starfish.
Hey, now you're taking it too far.
I'm just naming an album.
All right. So, going to a different genre. This is actually, okay. We're a PG show, guys, in the chat. But I am going to mention my mother. This is my mother's favorite game on the Nintendo. And that we can leave it at that. Nobody say anything about my mom. I'm not going to bring those chats up because Phil won't let me. But to represent, there are a lot of fantastic puzzle games on the NES. And to represent that, and this is also probably my favorite, Dr. Mario.
Oh,
I'll take this
great puzzle game
over Tetris every day of the week. It is so much fun, and you can play 2-player and be competitive, which on the NES Tetris you cannot do.
Depends on which version.
Well, okay, on the officially released NES Tetris you cannot do. But man, do I love Dr. Mario. It's not one of those ones that I think a lot of people would be like, oh my God. And I did specifically try to do my list in a way that we wouldn't have tons of overlap. Everybody's saying the same games. But man, I am so like this is my favorite puzzle game on the NES. I know a lot of people love like Yoshi's Cookie, or like there are a lot of great ones to choose from. Especially if you're including Famicom games, which we aren't doing today. But yeah, this is my favorite puzzle game on the NES.
My brother-in-law down in Florida, when we go down to visit, he has a Wii. That's all. He has a Wii, Nintendo Wii, and this is all they play. This is all they play on their Wii, and I had not played it. And
I like the Luigi version too.
Yeah,
that came out on the Wii, the anniversary one.
I don't remember seeing that there, but it was, and my sister-in-law is killer at this game. She is very good. Yeah. And it gets fast real quick, and you can really lose track of what you're doing very quickly. Good choice. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, and Otherworldly, you're going to have to wait and find out if anybody has Contra on their list.
All right, let's find out if it's Brian's number 4.
Who's got the rapper?
Rapper? You mean like MC Hammer?
No, like somebody's opening a cough drop, and it stopped as soon as you started talking. So,
I did have something on my lap that I dropped, but
okay,
that might have been it.
Yeah, so my number 4 is Dragon Warrior 2.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. And
I knew that was going to
again,
come into play.
Oh,
No
yeah.
pun intended.
but yeah, I just man, my camera really has me.
You got bright real quick.
I got really bright there, didn't I?
Need a hat.
Apparently.
You can borrow
So-
mine.
As long as we
Yeah.
can hear you, that's all right.
Oh yeah. But and we're having all sorts of technical issues today. But no, I mean Dragon Warrior 2 was great. It's probably my favorite of the NES ones. And again, when you went from the very first game, which was good, you know, and you know, a lot of people got to play that because it was a free game if you subscribed to Nintendo Power, you know, and this version literally just took all those mechanics and made them better. You know, you had multiple characters and you know, multiple enemies that you had to fight at one time, and just really good storyline. Like I said, this was my favorite of the series.
It's a great game. I also really like Dragon Warrior 3. I have that one complete in box. Jeremiah says you are completely redeemed.
Now, see,
Which is
if
good
this-
because you know what? You have taken a lot of crap. Like I get crap for my 4 out of 10 on Night Driver.
Mhm.
But then Gen X Grown Up gave it a D, and then you know, he kind of lays off that now because he realizes that I'm not truly the bad guy. But he used to crap. He's crapped on some of your picks in previous lists. So for him to say that
He
you are
has.
completely redeemed by Dragon Warrior 2, man, wear that with pride.
We'll definitely do that.
All right. Dr. Scott, number 4.
Well, I think it's time to pull out the big gun here. And what I mean by that is you know, I did kind of forget about Gyrus, and even though I love that game, and and if I was looking at my games this afternoon, I may have picked Gyrus, but since I don't have a physical copy of it, I actually picked this shooter instead. For me, Life Force is actually the perfect NES shooter because of the alternating stage perspectives. You know, and then you know, the weapon strategy that you have, it's
It's a great game.
It's more of a collaborative thing than most games of the genre, and especially on the NES. You never saw anything like this before the NES. Well, you know, the arcade, of course, but you know, at home, you really never saw anything quite like this. And it's you know, it can get crazy really fast too, especially with those bosses and stuff. So yeah, Life Force. What is it? The Japanese one, is it Salamander? Is that the name of it? Salamander?
I think it's
I'm
Salamander.
not sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's mine. And the funny thing was, when I finally got hold of this game, I thought this would be something I would find everywhere and anywhere. You know, that you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting one at an expo. It took me 3 expos to find this. So, and I wanted to find it in the wild. I just didn't want
Maybe
to go to a
because
store.
people were staying away from you because you had carrying a dead cat around.
It could. Well, I usually carry a whole bag, so
Okay.
could be. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that Life Force is a really good game, and it's not an expensive game. I mean,
No.
I think you can still find it for, you know, loose for somewhere between $10-15.
Yep.
So
Yeah. No,
Nice.
it's a great game.
yeah.
Nice.
Now all the
Give you that.
Konami game, the whole Gradius line of games is great.
Mhm.
Nothing too controversial about Scott's picks yet.
He'll wait till the end like he did last time. Okay. My number 4 is an arcade port, and Nintendo had problems with this, and I'll explain what it's Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And it's based off the arcade game, which basically your fighter is like a vector see-through kind of thing where you can see the fighter in front of you. Well, Nintendo couldn't replicate that. And so what they did was they decided they were going to make your sprite like a third of the size of the other fighter. But the mechanics and the punching idea is the same. And you have different fighters, and each fighter requires a certain strategy to beat, and it's just a very, very fun game. Now, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, when they lost the license with Mike Tyson, they just made a Punch Out, which is basically the same game. It's just
Mr. Dream.
Yeah, Mr. Dream's at the end, but it's basically the same game. So if you have either one, it's fine. You're getting the same experience from the game, and I think it's
not
fun.
gonna lie. Not gonna lie, it's a frustrating experience. I've beaten the game once.
I've never beaten it, but it's still a bunch of.
And now it sits on my shelf.
It's better than Rocky for like the Master System. Rocky,
Yes.
it was just stupid, but this game's a lot of fun.
No, and honestly, I prefer this one over the arcade. Like, I never could get into the arcade version of it, and I even downloaded it on my Switch. You know, whenever they had it available for purchase. Yeah. And
Mr. Dream doesn't bite your ear.
Well, there were 3 million. There were 3 million copies sold during its life, so there are a few of them out there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, the NES version is my favorite by far.
All right, Mike, we're at 3.
We're at number 3. I feel like just with Jeremiah Thomas, I've lost the crowd. So, like, do I have to?
Oh, come on!
No, these are in my honor. I just brought them out for Jeremiah. These are in my honorable mentions category, but yeah, they're not. They're not my number. We're on what, number 3?
Yep.
Yeah, they're not my number 3, but maybe flashing them to Jeremiah soothes his angst over my Final Fantasy over Dragon Warrior pick. So at the number 3 slot for me, I wanted to, I almost won the night. They're in my honorable mention. So it sounds like Brian will probably win the night because I don't think either of these two are Dragon Warrior guys. But I wanted to go kind of more Metroidvania area for this one. However, my favorite Metroidvania Metroidvania being a really broad term. My favorite one on the NES isn't Metroid. It is Blaster Master.
Good pick.
I adore Blaster Master. We rented this one. This was one of those ones where, like, on consecutive weekends, we just rented and then played and rented and played and rented and played, and eventually we beat it. The music in it is awesome. The atmosphere is awesome. You're like chasing your frog that jumped down a hole. Then it mutates and you somehow become small and drive this really cool. I wanted this vehicle. Like, you got a car that jumps around, and then it's got stages where you are top down. It's got stages where you're kind of platforming, like you saw at the very beginning of here, that like he was swimming around. And you have to find upgrades to be able to get into different areas and advance yourself through the game. Looks great, plays great. A lot of nostalgia for me on this one. It was really tough to choose between this one and Metroid, but I ended up going with this one. I love this game. And like I said, lots of nostalgia with it.
This is one I've not played either. Now I will say it looks a lot better than Metroid. Metroid would be frustrating because you really need a map in that game. You have to know where you're at. If you don't know where you're at, you're screwed. Yeah,
this one is a little less like that. You still kind of need to know where you're going. Otherworldly, he's got my back, and Andy had it at his number 4. It is better than Metroid for that whole I need a map thing. You really should play it, but it is a game that you have to put some time into. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Well, and just this was Sunsoft at their peak. I mean, this was all. I mean, Sunsoft had a couple duds, but like they knew how to make good graphics on the NES, and again, a lot of their games were so much fun to play. and graphically good. Right up there with Capcom. So
Yeah, and Poe is right. For my Metroidvania, I went with neither Metroid or Vania. So, although the early Castlevania games aren't Metroidvania games, it isn't until
no, they're
later that they
not.
became
Yeah,
the
Symphony
genre
of the
became
Night.
Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Like that's nobody with an NES ever considered the genre to be Metroidvania.
All right, Brian.
Yeah. So my number 3 is, because we can't have a top 5 without getting the Blue Bomber in here at least once. So Mega Man 2 is on my number 3. And again, Capcom always made great games. I don't know that there's any bad game by them. I mean, I'm sure there might be one, but it's just not coming to mind. But again, great series, and it was just such a jump in quality from the first one to the second one. Like I said, the first one wasn't bad, but it's just they did so many quality of life improvements, and just it was a much better experience. And I think the difficulty was still there. I mean, it wasn't as difficult as Mega Man 1 by any means, but I think they had the right level of difficulty for it, and just even the bosses were just all very cool. And again, out of the NES 6 of these, I mean, this one's probably my favorite. Like, Mega Man 3 is up there too, but
there are there tends to be two camps, Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3.
Right.
I think like Mega Man 2 was just such a huge leap that I tend to be in the Mega Man 2 category. Mm-hmm. I love Mega Man 1 too. Like the 1, 2, and 3 are all wonderful games.
Oh, they
Mega
are.
Man 2 introduced a lot of new stuff, and then Mega Man 3, I think, just polished it.
Yeah,
and so
they just
added you can appreciate them for what they are. Yeah,
I mean, and and like I said, they're all good. Like my complaint with Mega Man 3 though is this: it was too easy. Like I literally rented that and beat it like in one night, and it was just like, wow, like at least Mega Man 2 took me like a week, where like Mega Man 3 is like, did I seriously just beat this game in a couple hours? It was just, I think they had that.
Mega Man 2 was several weekend rentals for my brothers and I. Yeah.
So, but no, this one's probably my favorite out of the original NES 6. So
I don't hate that pick. I mean, obviously you had to have a Mega Man game. I specifically knew that there would be Mega Man games, so I did not pick one. But normally, like if I had to pick and I knew that nobody else was going to have lists, Mega Man 2 would probably have been my pick. Maybe Mega Man 1 and then Mega Man 3 after that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a lot of nostalgia for this one. Fantastic game. I do want to bring up some drama in the chat that I thought was absolutely hilarious. Casey, the Intellivision Gamer, who is usually he's quite often a guest. He's a very frequent guest on our show, and he posted his favorite NES games, which is great. Like a lot of people have been posting them. And then Megan Tron Plays said, Casey, you're not on the stream. No one cares. and then Casey said, I love Mega Man games. And Mr. Postile said, damn it, Casey, what did Megan just say? And Casey responded with, I don't know, I blocked her.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
Good
All right.
Man, you have to love the people that come to our chats. It's a great group of people. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's kind of like the family at Christmas. You have to love
it.
It
is.
Oh, I just saw like Ghosts and Goblins, which I don't know if that's on anyone's top 5 here, but yeah,
not
Ghosts
the NES version for me.
Yeah, I want to like that game. Like I love the franchise of Ghosts and Goblins, but man, Ghosts and Goblins is just way too difficult on the NES.
It's very.
In fairness to the NES version, you've got unlimited continues. It's an easy game to beat if you have time.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right, Scott. What's your number 3?
Well, one of my absolute favorite video games of all time is the arcade version of Crazy Climber. And the Atari version is abysmal. And the Famicom version is abysmal. So what could take that game's place? What is really, really good, but when I was playing this game, I felt it was kind of the opposite of Crazy Climber. So you're not climbing anything.
Press
You are,
Descender.
yes. Prozac Descender.
Yeah, there you go.
But he so you get to play as a spy, and you are definitely in a building, and you are going downward as opposed to upward. And I've actually watched Phil play different versions of this game on his channel. Elevator Action. What a fantastic game. You know, you got that spy thriller thing kind of going on. You know, you're shooting guys left and right, hiding, you know, grabbing the stuff you got to grab and getting the heck out of Dodge. It's fantastic. And it's probably why I did gravitate toward this, because it did kind of feel like, you know, Crazy Climber in reverse, kind of, sort of ish to me. So, but yeah, that's the next one on my list. And
I cannot see this game without mentioning that the Champ Games version on the Atari 2600 is an absolute masterpiece.
It is so good. It is so good. Yeah.
Yeah, and what he was able to do with the controls, because if you have a jump button, okay. Well, in the arcade game, you had a button for standing and a button for jumping. Well, he couldn't do that. So in order to stand up, you have to hold the button down and then push your joystick in the up direction in order just to stand straight up. That is important sometimes, because if you're near a ledge, you don't want to be jumping. Especially
I remember the first time you played this, and John was in the chat. And
yeah,
he was yelling at you in the chat. You don't have to jump every time.
Yeah, but it's a nice mechanism though, because if you jump on the enemy agents, you can kill them, and if you're above the car, you can jump over the shafts.
Yeah,
which is it takes some practice. You kind of have to know what you're doing and have to.
Well, and you got to be careful when you're on top of the elevator. You can end up like Emilio Estevez in the first Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah, because you can't control the car if you're on top.
Man down, Ethan. Man down.
Yeah, it's a lot of this. Is a great it's a great game concept. It just is. I love the 2600 version, and this is. I'm kind of spoiled with that one because there's like challenge levels and different other things.
Yeah, there's more features to it than the NES.
Yeah, there's
version.
actually
the
more
NES
features
version
to
is
the 2600 version. But that's not to take anything away from this version. This is a good version.
Can you remind me, because I've watched you play that on your channel before, but did Champ Games, did they make a physical version of that too, or no? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yep.
Okay.
Physical and ROM.
Okay. Because I'll just have to grab that game, because I've watched you guys play it, and it's just like I gotta have it.
It's called Elevator Agent for the 2600, and it's my favorite Champ Games game of all time. So that's how good I like it. So great choice. I like it. All right. Speaking of climbing, I picked this game. We were talking in Discord today about this game. It's called Ice Climber. Ice Climber, when it was released, there were 1.5 million copies sold worldwide. It was released in 1985. And you play the game by breaking the ice above you so you can get to the higher levels. But you have to avoid the penguins. You have to avoid icicles. When you get to the higher levels, you want to get I think those are eggplants there that you have to kind of get for like bonus points. But the idea is to get to the very top. And once you get to this top, you start another level and try to do the exact same all over again. It can get tough, but it's a lot of fun to play. It just is. Oh, and you have to jump. See how he jumped on that pterodactyl there? You have to jump so he can carry you away, and you get bonus points Um, also for all the things that you get and do and kill and all that fun stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It is. You
It's
have a hammer.
interesting. It's interesting that you brought that one up because I used to have it for the Game Boy Advance, and that was one of the reasons why I even bought the game, was because it did remind me of Crazy Climber as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It really is.
Yeah. So Megan is talking about the music, and we did do a whole episode on our top 5 soundtracks. That was with Steven. What's his what's his channel? Yeah, Stephen Haywood, but what's his channel?
Oh, Tech Buzz Gaming. Yeah.
Oh, Tech Buzz. There you go. A game that not many people really seem to know about, Megan, but you might really like the soundtrack for is ASTNX. Oh man, I love that soundtrack. It's definitely not a top 5 game. It's a good game, but it's not a top 5 game. But it's for me, it's a top 5 soundtrack.
Well, what is a top 2 game for you, Mike?
Oh, a top 2 game. I could have swore I had this one complete in box, but for whatever reason, I don't. But one of my absolute favorites, Contra for the NES. This is for me like your ultimate run and gun nostalgic piece. Like, I love all the Contra games. I love Contra Hardcore. I love Super C. I love Contra 3 Alien Wars. I even love Contra 4 on the DS systems. As absolutely soul-crushingly difficult as that game is. I used to be able to beat this game without using a continue. No Konami code. That's how much I played it when I was younger.
Wow.
It is unbelievable. I actually, with Konami code, I beat it with my 4-year-old, and he would use all his lives and then all my lives, and then we do a continue. But man, it's such a good game. Like this, back in the day, this is all we wanted to play. And when you're playing 2-player, it is more difficult in 2-player because, especially in levels like this one, invariably one person would be stuck and trying to avoid getting shot while the other one just kept jumping up and dropped them off the screen. They lost a life. That happened
that
a
never
lot.
happened.
and this is a, again, maybe younger viewers. I know we don't have many younger viewers, but we do have some. This is all pre-internet. I remember a guy at school telling me about the Konami code, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I went home and I tried to do it and it didn't work. I'm like, oh, he was just pulling my leg. He was full of crap. And then he's like, no, you got to make sure you get it all in before the thing and all that. And then when I got to work, like, it's just like, oh, wow, these secrets going around, right? Or around the schoolyard. And so Jolt has it here. But again, I always played this 2-player because I've got a lot of brothers. So I actually remember the Konami code different than everybody else I know, because it's up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. Because you have to go to 2-player and play it. But man, you've got your classic side-scrolling run and gun action, and then interspersed after the first 2 levels are these kind of 3D levels. I remember first seeing this, and it was just like, oh wow, because I'd never seen anything like that in a video game before, at least the ones that I had played. It was an experience. I remember the first time I beat it, my brothers and I were so happy. And then even after beating it, like, you wanted to play it again. And it was, yeah, I love it. I love it to this day. Just watching it makes me want to play it.
I wanted to mention something real quick that's it's not relevant to that, but you started talking about this and I remembered something about Ice Climber, because you mentioned Stephen Haywood, and the interesting tie-in there is I had the complete in box copy of Ice Climber for the Game Boy Advance, and Stephen Haywood's son Daniel bought my copy of that at Korg's. So it was just kind of interesting how those things, like you mentioned Steven right after talking about that, and then it just clicked, and I went, oh, that's an interesting little segue that doesn't matter, doesn't matter to anybody. So, but yeah, and the other thing about Contra here, though, back to Contra, though, what a fantastic game, but my God, do I stink at this game. Holy smokes. I cannot believe I can watch other people play it, and I feel like, I must have been born without thumbs or something when I play this game.
A lot of it ends up being, and a lot of NES games are like this. There's memorization of, okay, this is what I do at this boss. This is what I do here. This is what I do here. This guy's going to pop up. Like the worst one for me is a snow level. Because again, always playing 2-player. When you're playing single player, you're always kind of in the center and the screen scrolls around you. Totally good. You got full warning when something comes on. But in that snow level, there's these little turret things. And if you're playing 2-player, and I would always be the one that's close to the front of the screen, one of those pops up, it shoots as soon as it comes on screen. So you have to be like prepped and you're stressed to duck as soon as you see it. Whereas when you're playing single player, you see he's always in the center. It's not as big a deal. That's a turret thing right there. But just watching this, I'm hearing the sound effects, like the boom chihuahua of the bombs, and in that 3D, the do 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 do. It's just, this game is ingrained in my soul. I love it.
There was a girl I used to date. Her mom, they had an NES, and she would play this and Dr. Mario. I would show up, and she was a nurse, so she would like unwind for a couple hours or an hour or whatever when she would get home. And she was playing Contra like that was her job, and she was just amazing. It was hypnotic watching her play it. She was amazing at it.
And little trivia tidbit, in the Japanese version, the Famicom version of Contra, the enemy soldiers they don't look like football players like they do in Contra. They look like robots.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
All right, Mike, I gave you a number 2 choice so you could queue it up, but I'm changing it.
Oh, okay.
I'm changing it because it's funny how you can change your mind. I change my mind daily on which ones I like best sometimes. But I put it in the private chat what it is. This game in arcade, I never was really good at because the button layout was just stupid. I didn't like it. I just did not like this button layout. But the NES version of this game is very good, and it's Defender 2. And it was released in the late 80s, and the numbers that were of the games that were actually sold are actually not publicly known. But this game, to me, is way better than the arcade version. The sprites, the sounds, the mechanics of the game. It just, I do much better with this than I do the arcade version of either this or Stargate. It's just phenomenal. I love it. It's one of my favorite shooters for the NES, and it's my number 2.
Are you going to use your old number 2 as a?
It's going to be an honorable
mention. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Because that surprised me. I have never been great at Defender. But this is definitely a much better version. Like, I really don't care for the Atari 2600 Defender. It's a flickery mess. Whereas this, for an NES game, I don't think it looks great, but it is a solid version of Defender for sure.
But Stargate / Defender 2 on the Atari 2600, of course, is much better.
It is. It's much better than the original, for sure. It's not as good as this, but it's good.
No. Megan says her top 5 games are all LJN. And to Jeremiah, Defender 2 will always be Stargate to him. Yep. Brother Blue mentions Batman NES. Great game, very difficult game, but also great soundtrack. Man, that opening cinematic for the Batman Nintendo game is incredible. So hey, props for that choice.
Bill and Ted number 1.
Yeah,
man. When it comes to LJN, I think the only game decent is Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know that there's any other good LJN.
I like Back to the Future, but you have to understand that Back to the Future is like a second gen arcade game.
Yeah,
Because it's the same thing. Like, it's by no means a bad game. Yes, it has repetitive music that is sped up. It's supposed to be Power of Love. But it's not a bad game. I'm with the LJN defender on that one.
And,
All
and
right.
Anybody
and
remembers him?
Mike does explain that in great detail.
Yes.
On my we did a collab video, and Phil was in that video as well a couple of years ago with our guilty pleasures. And when he told his segment's really fun anyway. So even if you only watch just his segment,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah,
check it out.
actually, I dressed up as Marty for that one.
Yes,
didn't
you
I?
did, and you were in
Yeah.
front of the Twin Pines Mall.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And Jaws, I agree. I like Jaws.
no, Jaws wasn't bad. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm not.
I mean, they're
I'm
not
saying-
they're not high art,
Right,
But there's fun to be had.
yeah.
Hey, Benji's retrospect. Benji does a lot of great NES games, and next week, probably, if you watch his retrospective, you might see me in there. And Mike also dances like the LJN defender. I don't think you've seen me dance, but okay. I mean, I don't dance well, so probably true.
Well, why don't we
Number
dance
ones.
to number one?
Number ones. This is,
Huh?
and actually,
We never did our number twos. Phil skipped ahead.
Yeah,
of
Phil
us.
skipped ahead of us.
oh, way to go, Phil.
Oh, how did I do that?
You were talking about changing it in the chat, and then you just told us your number 2.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Where are we at then? Because I'm all lost now.
Brian, you're number 3.
My number 2.
You're number no
Number 2.
Oh yeah, you're number 2. You're number 2. You're number 2. Number 2.
Yes. So my number 2, again, fan of the series, but my favorite one on the NES, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. I mean, again, like really enjoyed the first one. I wasn't as much of a fan of the second one. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it
A
was
lot
just
of
like,
people crap on
yeah.
it because of the AVGN thing.
yeah.
but-
I mean, it was okay, but like this like redeemed itself. Like this literally was like probably one of the pinnacles of the series, and in the sense of the traditional Castlevania style. And you know, it was just so cool to see this on NES, which I know they had some additional chips in here to help with it, but just the fact that you could go different paths, and depending on what paths you went, you know, you could get additional characters that you could swap between and play with in the game. And just the whole level design in general for all of them was just really well done. I mean, and
It
again,
really. Oh, why is this? Did this freeze?
it looks that way. I wondered if it was my screen. I'm like, oh crap, are they even hearing me right now?
Oh, like the actual YouTube screen froze. So
Oh.
let's try a different one here. Let's switch to this tab. There we go. It really did feel like a big leap up for me.
Yes.
In the Castlevania series. I love the Castlevania games. I would say this is probably my favorite of the NES ones.
Mhm.
It's tough. It's close to number 1, but again, number 1 is nostalgia, I think,
Right, yeah.
more. Whereas this is like, okay, this has been evolved.
Yes.
You know, while you got the screen like this, can we do the Brady Bunch thing real quick? Okay, just wanted to do that. real fast.
Oh, as I cover your face with a
Yeah,
comment.
he covers his
I
face.
hate
He's
when we
Alice.
come. I wish StreamYard would lift all of us when it did that,
Yeah.
because I want to show the chats, but I also,
Either that or
like,
just scoot it over that. They should scoot it over that way.
or do something to offend me so I don't feel bad doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. And here's
There we
Scott's hat.
Okay.
All right. Dr.
Scott,
Scott's
number
number
two.
2.
Well, my number 2 is Phil. I'm gonna throw something at him. You know,
Oh, before you
I
get
had
to
the
your
high
number 2.
ground. I have
Jolt
the high
says-
ground.
Yeah, Jolt says he'll be right back. He has to play a quick game of adventure on the 2600.
No. Loser. Sorry, I had something in my throat. Anyway, I did switch out my number 2 as well. Take that any way you want. Anyway, I did switch it out, and mine was going to be this lovely game, but it was one of those things where I had to keep going back and forth. My number 2 was going to be Burger Time, but it is not actually, because I discovered this game about almost a year ago, and then I had to have it because I was testing it.
That would have been a really hot take, because the NES Burger Time is.
Oh,
well,
Scott.
I'm
glad you switched, man.
But by
I'm glad you
comparison to
switched.
the Atari version,
Oh, Atari 2600.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
but
I
that's,
mean, it's gonna compare to that, but
Yeah.
it's, yeah,
that's like I'm trading out my Ferrari for a Pinto.
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, I even have the Burger Time little, the little arcade cabinet one up here, and it's okay, but that all aside, my friend John, he used to own Rock'em Sock'em Retro in Bowling Green until he decided to say, I've had enough fun for 10 years, but I was hanging out with him at his shop testing games and stuff like that, and he had this complete in box copy of this game come in, and I'm like, never even heard of this one. And I started playing it, and I was hooked immediately. And I went out and got it like about 3 weeks later. I didn't want to buy his copy because it was complete in box, and it was like $75 or something. And I was like, holy, smokes. So, but this is a really fun, it's a charming action puzzler game. It kind of reminds me a lot of Pengo. It's called Kickle Cubicle. So yeah, you have these little ice blocks, and I don't know, you just got to play the game. I really can't explain it that well. It's a clever spatial puzzle game, and because of the ice and stuff, and you're always, throwing these little blocks around. That's why it reminds me of Pengo. And I was really hooked on Pengo for the 2600 when I was a kid. And when I saw this, it just really hit my nostalgia gland. So I had to have it. So yeah, there it is. This, if you've never played it, if you like a cute puzzle game, go out.
Yeah,
and
it's an
grab
action puzzler.
It is. Yeah, it is so much fun. It is just, wow, what a fun game. So there you go. I think that's a good swap out for the Burger Time.
Well,
because-
now here's something. Jeremiah brings up a good point that both Phil and Scott have to account for. If Burger Time was number 2 and it got bumped, wouldn't that make it number 3? Doesn't that bump your whole list? How do you go from number 2 to demoted to not even on the list?
Well, in my mind, that's what I did. So, it's my show. I do what I want to, Jeremiah.
Yeah,
If you don't like
apparently
what I'm doing, Jeremiah, get your own show, okay? And then I'll get on there and harass you.
I mean,
So,
it's his own show. He can even he can change the order to this. He could, like he
You
did
need to
with
put
the
it
last
back,
group.
because I could. Let's see how you do that.
But I can bring myself back.
Yeah.
All right. So now we could go to number 1.
Yeah. You're number 1.
My number 1 should be not a surprise to anybody.
Adventure for the 2600.
It is a basic choice, but I do sincerely, not just for nostalgia, but for and not even just for the hype, but for what the quality of the game is. Now, I would understand if again, there are two camps: people who like this game, or people who maybe like the Super Nintendo version of it. But the one for me that is just king of the Nintendo Entertainment System and always will be is Super Mario Brothers 3. It is the pinnacle of NES Mario. I understand and totally relate to people who say that Mario World is better. I would actually probably agree. It's definitely more polished. But from what Super Mario Brothers was to then Mario 2, and I never particularly enjoyed Super Mario Brothers 2. I know the whole Doki Doki Panic thing, and that's probably why. Like, it never felt like a Mario game to me. But this was like, holy crap. this is Mario. Like, I remember being in school and we were drawing the characters and we'd draw all the Koopa kids. Like, I did a lot of art stuff. But me and my friends, we just sit and I could draw any of these characters. Just, I don't even have to look at them. I could draw them. Like from the art in the manuals and all that stuff. For me, this is where Mario became more than a video game. It was like, holy crap, Mario is like the pinnacle of video games. I understand Mario's not for everybody. Jeremiah probably very upset. But Super Mario Brothers 3 mops the floor with Mario 2, in my opinion, mops the floor with Mario 1, in my opinion. And I like both those games. In fact, I love Mario 1. But
Well,
Mario 3 is just, yeah.
Fun fact for you, 17 million just sold in the US, and this was a major title in Japan. I don't have the numbers on that one. It was released for the Famicom as well. And it is, I don't have any nostalgia for this, but I can tell that this is actually an honorable mention for me, only because of the fact that I've not played it a whole lot, but I really have a lot of respect for this game because of the influence that I feel that this game had on Super Mario World for the Super NES.
It cemented Mario as the premier platforming games.
Yeah,
I think this game did for the NES what Donkey Kong Country did for the Super NES. It just kind of elevated it, to that next level, later in its life. And I never played this game until I had the Super Nintendo All-Stars game, and because I didn't have an NES, and when I played it, I was like, wow, this is, and I stink at the Mario games. I mean, I'm just abysmal, but I absolutely love playing this one, no matter how terrible I am. I love playing it, absolutely.
It's like nowadays when I play it again because of time restraints, I do what we always did so I didn't have this. My friend had it, and every day after school we'd go to his place and I would play until it was dinner time. Like, we'd try to beat Super Mario 3. And we always did the same thing. You get the 2 whistles in level 1, you get the whistle in World 2. You beat World 2 so that you can get the cloud, because that cloud is needed in level 8 as far as I'm concerned. And then you do the whistle trick to get to level 8. There's a trick, like you can swim under the boats in the boat level, so you don't actually have to go through the level. You could cheat through that one. And then there's one level that is so damn difficult. We always use the cloud on that one, and we'd save our P-Wing for the level after it so you don't die at that, because if you die at the level after, it throws you back to before the level you skipped. And then once you get into the castle and you fight Bowser, like the Bowser fight's pretty easy, but I've beaten it playing it all the way through though as well. It's a joy to play. It's an absolute joy. And for me, I prefer this one to Mario World. But they're neck and neck. Like Mario World, if somebody in the chat is like, "Oh, Mario World is the better game," I'm not disagreeing with you. This is the one I think more nostalgia is tied to for me.
Well, and a couple things to keep in mind is that like you said, obviously what we knew as Super Mario 2 was not really Super Mario 2. So when you compare it to the fact that Super Mario and Super Mario 2 looked exactly the same, like graphically. I mean, like what Super Mario 2 was in Japan. And then,
yes, the lost levels, what we would call it, yeah.
And then you come to this. I mean, this literally cemented. Yeah, I mean, it's such a leap, and it just cemented, like you said, Mario and the stuff. And like those that want to say Mario World's better or this one's better, again, I don't think you can truly compare the two, because this was on an 8-bit Nintendo and 16-bit Nintendo had a difference. Like, I think they're both amazing games.
But let's not mince words either. Like, launching the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World.
Oh, it was
you didn't need to have anything else. It cemented that console. Everybody wanted it for that game.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I mean, because again, Mario World, like I said, for me, I mean, I personally like probably Mario World more. But again, you didn't have this game, you would not have had Mario World. And
Absolutely agree.
And again, and with that said, this is still an amazing game.
And for those who always want to get a star, you just have to make sure you're running at full tilt when that box is first revealed at the end of level. You will always get a star.
Now, I'm not trying. What I'm about to say might be slightly controversial, maybe not.
No.
But when you compare both games, 3 and World, both fantastic games in their own right. But I think that a lot of people, the reason why, and they have every right to love that, to love World, better than 3. But I think that a lot of people gravitate to that without thinking that the only reason why they do like that game better than 3 is because the extra added mechanic of the cute Yoshi. And that is a great, and it isn't just a mechanic. It is a device. And Yoshi is a great character and a great entry there.
And you have to murder him to make some jumps.
Yeah, you do. So it is what it is. But I think the in my opinion, the better of the two games really is 3. I really don't think of Super Mario World as a level up. In that
It's a level. It's definitely a level up graphic, like from a polished.
Oh, graphically, of course, yeah.
I would say that anybody here, if somebody gave you Super Mario World to play in a Super Nintendo and said, play this, you're not complaining. I mean, it's not a fight that I want to have. It's, this is my preference. It's probably nostalgia based. And if you prefer Mario World, I'm not complaining about that one either.
There's a series on YouTube. I can't remember whose channel it was on, but there was a series on the Mario, that whole series, and all the work that they put into, the gameplay, the music, the character creations, all those things. They took it. That's why Nintendo is Nintendo, so good choice. All right. Brian.
Yeah. So my number one, again, if you've watched some past episodes, probably isn't going to be much of a surprise, but, my number one for the NES is the Guardian Legend. And this was one that, I made it a point because I enjoyed the game so much that I needed to get it complete in box. Because normally when I pick up Nintendo games, I don't care about that. But again, just such a unique game, such a good game for its time period. And again, it's kind of a hybrid between having a shmup and also Blaster Master. So again, you literally had the shmup levels where you were, fighting the enemies, and then you'd enter into the world, and then would be like Blaster Master levels, and you were kind of a female transformer because you were transforming into the spaceship that you were flying, and then going back to the humanoid form whenever you were in the exploration scenes. And it's such a great story. I mean, just literally this planet just kind of coming out of nowhere toward Earth, and pretty much you're the last hope to, save things. And again, such a beautiful game. Graphically's great. Soundtrack's really good. I mean, I just remember playing this game so much, and rented it so much. And the only downfall to it is it used passwords instead of a battery save. So,
yeah.
And they were long passwords. So you had
like
to
the
really
Roger Rabbit passwords.
Yeah. So so you really had to make sure you had it right, or you might have lost hours of gameplay.
I would go so far as to call this a hidden gem. I know a lot of people tend not to really remember this one, but it is a great game.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of my favorite games. And like I said, it's one that I needed to get complete in box. And at CCAG, I don't know, probably like 5 years ago, there was finally a vendor that had it. And it's like, Yep, I'm grabbing it. So
Nice.
Yeah, when you're writing down your password, Jeremiah says that's what a Polaroid is for.
yeah, right.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I will say, Casey is worried.
Yep.
Well, I don't think he should be. I'm actually going to mention a couple of honorable mentions real quick. I actually don't have the physical copy of Narc, even though Narc is not a good version on the NES, but I had a lot of nostalgia for it because my best friend and I used to play it. Also, here's another really good one that was actually gifted to me by John Riggs at CGC 2 years ago. And that is Mendel Palace. This is a really fun game. And he told, whatever the situation was, I think there was a collab I was doing, and he mentioned this game, and I said, "Oh, cool, I'll go check for it." Before I could even find it, he went and bought it for me. He goes, "Here, I found it for you. I found it for you." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, "Well, you got to sign it." So he signed it then as well. But no, my number one, I have a great deal of nostalgia for, but it's also one of those arcade games. This translation, this port of this arcade game is pretty darn close to the arcade game. And it's not 100% there, but it's pretty close. And my best friend that I had when I was like in, say, 5th grade, when I was in grade school, he and I would go into the local arcade with a roll of quarters and then we would also have some more money on us. And most of that money went in there playing this game co-op. This game, I think it captures pure arcade chaos better than anything else on the NES, especially when you're playing a 2-player. And of course, you can sabotage each other, but why would you do that when you can, help each other out? But sabotage.
Clearly, you've never had siblings. If you don't know why people would kill each other.
Not in the house. I didn't. Not in the house. I had a half brother and a half sister, but they didn't live with me. So no, I was an only child, if you will. But Mario Brothers, the original Mario Brothers.
Good choice.
God,
That's a good choice.
I love this game. I mean, it just, in the arcade it shines, and if you have digital ports of it, like on the Wii or anything like that, even better. I actually have it on my I have it on my 3DS as well, and that's the actual arcade port there. But it's so close, and even the 7800 version is pretty darn good. And believe it or not, the 2600 version, although a little flat and it doesn't have as much detail, still a very good game. But no matter what port you're playing of this, such a wonderful time that you can have.
You know what my favorite version of this game is?
What?
In Super Mario Brothers 3, when you press A when the other player's going over you and you fight. I think it's the best version of Mario Brothers.
But so
my one beats your one. Mine includes yours.
It does. I actually had a few Nintendo games before I even had a Nintendo here in the house, and my younger son, he somehow ended up with a free Nintendo. It was just, I don't remember the situation, and he had no games. And what I had, like maybe 10 games, and I said, well, one of them was Mario Brothers, and I forgot what other games, and I just gave him the whole stack. And then a couple years, of course, several years later, I end up with the Nintendo, and I go, I wish I had my Mario Brothers. So, but and finding this wasn't an easy task either. It's not super expensive, but it's not exactly a $5 game either. So, but such a fun one. So, Phil, up to you, buddy.
Well, you were talking about the 5th grade. That was the best 3 years of my life. Okay.
That science class will get you every time.
I'm telling you what. I was really listening to Mike intently when he was talking about his number one, and he talks detailed about the game about 50% of the time, but the other 50% of the time, it was all nostalgia. He had so many great memories of that game, and he was just very passionate when he was sharing that. And like I said, I don't have any nostalgia from back in the day, but what is nostalgia? It's a memory of that game and how it influenced you and how you enjoy it. And
speaking of nostalgia, that's the 3 years you did grade 5, right?
Hey, now I'm old. I'm not that old. I was 3. No, I'm just
Mhm.
kidding. But this game I have played on my channel a bunch with my granddaughter, and she watches sometimes, and she absolutely loves this game. And I decided I was going to make it my number one because I just love playing this game with her. I just enjoy this game, and it's Balloon Fight. Balloon Fight. The sales were not disclosed by Nintendo, but it was released in '87, and it's based on the original arcade game Joust.
Yep.
But you have balloons, and so you have 2 balloons with each life, and either an enemy or if you play someone, if they touch a balloon, it will pop, and if they pop both balloons, then you die. And right here's a bonus level. After I think it's the second or third level, there's this bonus level, and you get points for how many balloons that you can bust in that level. And it can be challenging to do that because the physics in the game are such that, just like Joust, you can't really finally pick your controls. You're just it's a feel thing. You just got to feel it.
And if you
right
had
there,
an NES, the NES version of Joust is not a great version. This is much better than
yeah,
Joust on the NES.
this was a nice tribute, I would say, to Joust, with some added features to it. But there's where the water is down there. If you get too close to the water, there's a fish that can come up and eat you, and it's
lightning from the clouds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you have the lightning from the clouds, and you get extra points for popping the bubbles and all that fun stuff. And Moria, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't really get all the commercials. So I was watching something. I went to the other room for a little bit, and I come back, and sometimes it just, for whatever reason, in your playlist or something, it'll start playing, and it was of me, and this was today, and I already had my list picked out of me and Moria playing right before they went to Georgia. She wanted to do a live stream of us playing this game, and I just thoroughly enjoy this game with my baby, and so that's my choice.
I'm gonna have to get this one. I've never played it before.
Oh, so much fun.
It's really good, and again, this is one of those franchises from Nintendo that I'm not sure why we haven't seen like a modernized version of it, because I mean, again, it's an extremely fun game, and the only time we saw it was early NES, and then they did release a version on the Game Boy, but the Game Boy was kind of I don't want to say platformer, but it was like a side-scrolling type game with it. So
and you know what, this finally explains why Jeremiah Thomas feels like he's the only person in the world that likes sneak and peek on the 2600. It's because of how much he enjoyed playing with his daughter.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he ought to watch that video that I did then.
And well, in our worst 2600 games, sneak and peek was my number one.
Yeah.
So
we did beat the heck out of that.
And Phil just thrown in the face of the poor people without YouTube Premium. The amount of time
I'm getting it free for a month. That's why I have it.
as a creator, the amount of time that you spend on YouTube fostering your community and being a part of others, YouTube Premium pays for itself 10 times over.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're not on it, just if you watch a lot of YouTube, but anyway, what I'd like to do real quick is, if we can, I'd like to go around the horn real quick. You can do something before that, but I want to go around the horn, just mention a few
honorable
mentions, and then but I don't want to.
And then we got to close our 2 polls. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to close 2 polls. Okay, let's do that last. Or do you want to do that now?
No. We could do that last. We'll do our honorable mentions.
Okay.
Just ones that weren't on people's list that honestly should be.
Yeah.
Like I said, Dragon Warrior and Dragon Warrior 3. They're the ones that I had complete in box. Dragon Warrior 2, I love as well. Definitely an honorable mention for me. Because Mega Man 2 was already said, I'll say Mega Man 3. I have Mega Man 1, but it's only loose, so I grabbed again the one that I have the box of. as represented, and this one, like there are a lot of like the Capcom games are awesome, but the one that I have the most nostalgia for and the first
Mhm.
NES game I ever beat
DuckTales. I forgot about
was
that.
DuckTales.
That's a fun
Yeah,
one.
it's a good one.
Great game, great game.
Yeah.
This, I mean, Chip and Dale is great. Little Mermaid is even a great game. I mean, there are a lot of great Capcom
Mhm.
games.
All right.
And then of course I have Metroid and Vania.
Yeah. Okay. All
Those
right.
are just ones that were not said in the thing. And how many NES games in my collection? Not including homebrews, I have I think 580 some, and about 100 of them are complete in box.
Nice. All right, Brian. A few honorable mentions that you might not have already.
Yeah, I didn't really bring them all up, but pretty much one I was kind of on the fence with the top 5, which is why I kind of had it up here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, Manhattan Project.
Oh yeah, I really like Turtles 2 arcade. That I really like that one too.
No, that one's good. Like the first one, yeah, I just saw
First one I
Jeremiah.
liked as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was okay, but like Turtles 2 the arcade really made it good, and then like I said, this being its own like original game and taking all the good stuff from 2 and making it better, just kind of made that one. Ninja Gaiden, that series really good, and just because again time purposes is just pretty much most games. I'm not going to say every single one, but if you grab a game from Capcom, Sunsoft, Konami, and shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the other at the moment.
LJN,
not LJN.
Yay, LJN.
You're most likely going to have a really good. Irene, like all.
Oh,
like,
IREM.
Or IREM, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have a really good experience and fun time playing because like they all made such really good games for the console. So
Okay, good choices. All right, Dr. Scott, a few of yours.
Well, I'd already mentioned Mendel Palace earlier, but and there's several that are coming that aren't coming to mind that I have on the shelf back here. But one I actually do have sitting here, and this one, a lot of it has to do with the fact that number one, I'm not a big sports game fan, but this is a very good sports game, and I do have 2 really good sports games I like on the NES. Of course, the original Tecmo Bowl is fantastic, and I really like that one a lot. But this one is John Hancock, the immortal John Hancock's favorite. And it is a very good, it's ice hockey.
Mhm.
And I kind of started this little joke with him. So every time, and I forgot to do this last time I saw him because I bought another copy. And I was going to have, every time I see him at a convention, I was going to have him sign a copy and then have like 50 copies of it. But so far, I've only seen him twice at conventions. So I had to have him sign that one. But yeah, Tecmo Bowl, I think was a really fun one. Unfortunately, I can't think of any others that I have back here on the shelf. I do have one that's it's a fun game, but for the NES, heck no. And that's Bad Dudes, really bad translation. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But Batman is a very good one, and a hard game.
It's
But
hard.
yeah, but those are the only ones that I can think of right off the top of my head.
I
Okay.
love ice hockey. I'll also nominate Blades of Steel.
Yeah. I mentioned one getting demoted.
Wait. You win it for the first time since 1980 and you're all cocky as crap. Shut up, Jeremiah.
Oh man, there's this little banter between him and Mike.
Oh, Jeremiah just likes to try to push buttons.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to push buttons from like, we've won what, like 5 of them since 1980, and then you beat us once, and you're all like, "Ooh, it doesn't push an actual button."
Well, winning isn't everything anyway, but losing's nothing. Okay. Jab. All right. I mentioned I demoted one, and this one was there were 8 million copies sold for the NES, but over all of the Nintendo consoles, there were 35 million.
Brian
versions
mentioned
of
Ninja
this.
Gaiden.
What?
Brian mentioned Ninja Gaiden. Sorry to interrupt.
It was mentioned.
Jeremiah is like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's Tetris. Tetris is just a fun puzzle game. It's just it just is. It's very addicting, very fun. You know, it was a pack-in for the Game Boy. That's why there were 35 million copies of that. And it's a fun game. And then I mentioned Super Mario Bros. as a honorable mention. And Scott mentioned Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl is fun. If you like football, if you know, considering the limitations of the system, you know, not a 3D experience for football, but it's really fun. And then my last one was a pack-in title for the NES, and there were 28 million copies of that, and that's Duck Hunt. I can use a game and shoot something, and with a gun. What?
No, right there,
that?
right there, Retro Cac. That's definitely the better Tetris, in my opinion, on the NES, without a doubt.
Yeah. So anyway, I've really enjoyed this episode. Actually, you guys have mentioned
close out our polls.
Oh yeah, let's do the polls. I forgot. I'll do mine first since it's the most embarrassing.
It's the most embarrassing.
The question was, do you guys agree with my game choices? And there were 56.
Or will you agree with my?
Will you agree?
Yeah.
And 60 actually just changed. Went from 58 to 62%. So 38.
Oh, people are feeling sorry for you now.
Yeah, I know.
No. Now that they've heard your list, they're like, okay, I agree.
Yeah,
but you agree that those are the top 5?
Okay. Yeah, it's okay to change your mind midstream. And then what is yours?
And then my poll was, whose list will have the best games tonight? Keep in mind, this is posted in my chat. There's going to be a bias there. 74% voted me, 16% voted Phil, and then both Brian and Scott came in at 5%. However, Jeremiah Thomas says the real list, Brian is 1, and then everybody else is 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter. Because of the Dragon Warrior picks.
All right. Very, very fun episode tonight, guys. We're hoping, I'm just going to mention it, we're hoping we can do an television homebrew award show next week. We don't know for sure yet.
Well, and so we originally tonight was supposed to be our Intellivision Homebrew Awards coverage, because we were under the impression that they were launching last week. And then the idea was, okay, they're launching this week, so that maybe next week we can do it. But still, they haven't happened. And we're almost in April, so it's kind of silly. We will see. When it launches, we will do that episode. But this is getting ridiculous. And quite frankly, I'm frustrated.
Yeah. And we also have another episode that we want to do very soon.
LJ games. That'll be good.
We want to do this one very soon. I came up with this idea because I watched a show called Adam Ruins Everything, and he talked about this on that show. I don't know if you've ever seen that series. You guys need to check it out. It's kind of fun to watch. He's got a little sugar in the tank, which is, I don't know how you feel about that, but it's very entertaining, very fun, very knowledgeable. You learn a lot of stuff, and he talks about women in retro gaming, and I got to thinking, we don't know a lot of women in retro gaming, and I want to get a woman's perspective because we never have women on this show. So except Poe. So let's we're gonna do that with I think Megatron says that she would like to be on, and Brandy Gamer Aimer will be on the show as well. So it'll be a very interesting show to talk about women in retro gaming. Yeah. There's a history behind it, which I'm not going to tell right now, but if you watch the show, I got some interesting information about.
Well, yes, and take Adam Ruins Everything with a massive grain of salt. His facts are not always, they don't always fact.
No, they're not. They're not, but you still learn a lot. And it's entertaining to watch. It is. It's very entertaining to watch. He's not a manly
He is
man.
entertaining. Yes.
You know, he's not a manly man, but he's fun to watch, and he looks like a cool dude. He's just kind of a fun guy. So, all right, guys, listen, we appreciate all of y'all for watching and hanging out, because it's been an hour and a half tonight, which we don't try not to go that long, but it was well worth the time. So I've got some titles that I can go back and learn how to play and try them out that I haven't. So with that, you guys have an awesome day. We'll see you next time on Retro Bliss Rewind. We're out.